Hey guys, welcome back. I might not be the best and I might not be recording a lot because my other channel got deleted because things happened. So I started a new one and I kind of lost hope but I want to start doing it up. And the last 3 videos I posted was already videos I posted on there and I still had them. I might be doing some ones I've already posted again and to put them up if I can't do one. But I'll be doing at least one a day if I can. But yeah, without that, let's just get into it. Big 3 plus 1. This is a platonic. There's no romance in this one. I feel like the idea of being a student is stronger than the big 3. I guess I can make this into a romantic one, like one square kind of situation. I don't know. Edit, there's no part 2. Warning, mentions of depression. Name, first name, last name. Quirk, energy manipulation. User can control the energy in around living and non-living things. Age, 17. Hero name. First name stood up, bowed to Nezu, and then walked out to his office. She was supposed to meet the big 3 in a few days. How exciting. How exciting. The big 3. The strongest hero students in Japan, destined to become top pro heroes when they graduated. Nezu thought he should work well together, maybe join the trio. The girl was opposite to joining them. She was used to working alone, and how she preferred it. With her quirk, it was quite hard to have allies around. Yes, like the big 3, she worked hard over the years to get a handle over it, but unlike a normal quirk, hers always involved. Her abilities were something too much, even for her. She pretended to be happy and excited to see them, but in reality, she didn't want to. She didn't care. She would be like Eraserhead, the pro hero who works alone and isn't in front of the cameras in the entire time. As the girl walked through the hallways, she felt her quirk hit. She groaned as she leaned against the wall, her hand on her chest, her eyes shut tight. She took a few deep breaths and opened her eyes. Energy surrounded her and started to fill up the area she was in. She gritted her teeth and breathed out as she felt shivers hit. No matter how much she breathed, it just felt like it wasn't enough. She needed just a more, but she couldn't have it. Her hand moved to her throat. She felt like her quirk tightening. She slid down to the ground and clenched her fist. Continuing her breathing, she raised her arm and waved them around in practiced manner and finally felt the pressure leave her chest. It took a few moments, but everything returned to normal. At a time like this, she wasn't even sure if she had dealt with what was real or not. Nothing hurt, but during the attack, everything hurt. Her whole body ached and cried out in pain. As she could do, it was nothing like that happened. She calmed herself before fixing her hair and uniform, even though nothing was out of place. The girl continued walking through the corridor until she heard a voice up ahead. A condescending smile made its way to her face as she realised who they were. The big 3. Yes, she was meeting them earlier than expected. If they even knew they were going to meet her, they were heading in the direction of Neva's office, so they maybe didn't know yet. Either way, she was going to introduce herself. They were busy talking to each other as she approached them, stopping, blocking them as well. Tamaki shied away, while the other 2 looked at her with bright smiles. Wow, must be my lucky day. The big 3, Japan's top hero students, considered to be at the pro level already. Her eyes travelled to Miru. One of them was candidate for replacing All Might. It's an honour to meet you. Sarcasm dripped off of every word she spoke, but they ignored it. Miru gave her a big, bright smile as she introduced himself. I'm Miru Togata. It's really nice to meet you. I'm Nejiro Hando. A pleasure to meet you. The 3 looked at Tamaki, who jumped a little, but they gave him a moment. First name squinted her piercing eye-colour eyes, travelled up and down his frame. I'm Tamaki Amajiki, she finished, in a sharp tone. Sunnier. Quirk manifest. His head was down as he stared to the ground. He heard her footsteps approach him as his eyes widened to meet hers. She leaned in closer to see his face. "You're much more intimidating in the pro-hero costume." Standing up straight, she looked at Mirio again. Ned drew a handle. Quirk, wave motion. Last but not least, Mirio Togata. Quirk, penetration. "What's your name?" Mirio inquired, with a smile, the two evolving closer to the girl. She was silent, but they watched as she blinked once her eye-colour eyes were now glowing. It only lasted a second because she blinked again, and it disappeared. "I'm surprised. I thought the big three would recognise their competition when they see it. I guess I gave you too much credit." "There isn't any competition." Nejuri was cut off by the girl. "You're right. I'm already better than you all combined. Excuse me." With that, she pushed the Nejuri and Tamaki, bursting into them roughly as she walked past. The three turned and watched her with a frown. She walked in such confidence, her hips swaying as her figure threatened to the distance. Who is she?" Nejuri inquired. "I don't know," Mirio responded slowly. The three stood there for another moment before continuing their way, somewhat shaken by the girl they just met. 3 days later. Firstman was laying on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her eyes were glowing with a bright eye colour as it scanned everything in her room. Dark soft light. Firstman energy filled her room, swirling around. She raised her arm and watched as the energy moved closer and turned into a large ball around her hand. She blinked. Her eyes were turning to normal, and everything disappeared, but she could still feel the energy everywhere. She lowered her arms and felt the energy glow as she sat up in a sigh. Tomorrow she'll finally meet the big three. She was supposed to hang around with them officially and join their little group. Why she didn't want to? She didn't get that choice. What if she wanted to make friends? She didn't get that choice either. What if she didn't want to be a superhero? She didn't even get that choice. Everything was premeditated for the girl, as all she could do was follow like the least dog. Her quirk was already too much. Even she couldn't handle it. There were times where she accidentally used her quirk and able to control it at a younger age. Things didn't go as well. So she was put through brutal training to be able to control it. It helped quite a bit. Now she had a grasp on it instead of Quirk controlling her and command herself. However, every now and then she had a slip-up. She lost control and the energy around her would start to suffocate everything. She wasn't proven material. She acted confident, but deep down inside, she was nothing like that at all. She was nothing. This was her life, her destiny. She wanted to follow everyone else, bend to their rules, and do as they say. She didn't matter. Her opinions didn't matter. Her choices didn't matter. No one wanted her. They wanted her quirk. There was the same with everyone. Hero, villain, or family. They just wanted her quirk. That were too scared for it. Her quirk was nothing short of dangerous, and no matter what, she'd always be feared to some degree. She could never be like All Might, someone who would put a smile on faces and relieve fear. No, she installed fear. She was the fear. No hero trembled yet, but when she would be as powerful as the number one hero, then there would be fear here. Then they'd fear her. Then she'd be punished for something she didn't even want in the first place. The girl let out another audible sigh before she fell back on her bed and covered her face with hands. Whatever. She just dealt with it, and she dealt with everything else. Okay, I'm going to stop there. That's halfway through the first chapter of it, and I'm quite busy right now and I have to go out, so I'm going to leave it there. And I'm sorry if it's not going to be a while. It's probably going to be tomorrow. I'm going to post the second part. So, yeah, sorry about that. And if it was bad, I'm sorry, just because I haven't been really up to it. But I'm going to try and get back into it. So, yeah. And sorry if the editing's a bit bad on this one again. But, yeah. And I might post the other ones I've already edited. And I posted on my last channel because it would be easier for me right now. So, yeah. Sorry about that. And thank you guys. Bye.